You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
This is Where You Live. I am Gene Sullivan and broadcasting to you from the True North Painting Studios. The show is also brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family agent, Kim believes that there's so much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish today at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Did you know that the top reason renters do not renew their leases is not because of rent increases? The biggest complaint among renters and the most important gauge of renter satisfaction is how the management responds to maintenance requests. Responding to maintenance calls quickly and effectively makes for happy residents. Happy residents make for reduced turnover. Reduced turnover makes for better cash flow. That's just one of the hundreds, thousands of things you can learn from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, the best, most comprehensive resource in the state for owners of everything from a duplex to hundreds of units, and for townhome and condo associations as well. MHA holds 135 different classes each year for owners and on-site staff, including in-depth certification courses for maintenance and management professionals. In fact, the most widely recognized certifications for apartment industry professionals across the United States were designed right here in Minnesota by MHA. Find out more by visiting mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com.
The question that we're answering that a listener wrote to me this last week was the question, Gene, who is above the board? And it's not the management company. The answer that I said was you, the homeowner. That's right. A lot of people are thinking, well, what are you talking about, Gene? It seems like the board has all the power, and we're just told what to do and how to shape up. But as I shared in the last segment, that's really not true. We have this idea, this notion in our country of what's called the consent of the governed. You've given consent to the people that are governing over you because they're in elected position, and that elected position is only for a short while. It's only for a short period. And if you like what they're doing, then you just elect them again. If you don't like what they're doing, don't vote for them and put someone else that's more to your liking. Run for the board yourself. But some people, they get what they get only because they don't get involved in the politics of their homeowner association. They don't get involved in the decision-making process, and that is a shame. Because if you don't get involved, then you deserve whoever is put in office as the board of directors. But I was answering the question, well, what happens when you're dealing with the board now and you want to make a request and the board says no, and you think, you know what, I think that there is another way of handling it, and I think that there's probably a majority of the homeowners who think like I do and not like the board. So you've gone to the board meeting, you've made a request, the board has turned you down. What can you do next? Well, throughout this whole process, you'll notice that I've never said you need to start ginning things up and you need to start yelling and start demanding and go be angry and walk away in a huff. None of that. As a matter of fact, you can be calm and cool and be very easy about this whole process because you can allow the wishes of the majority to rule. And here's how you do that. So the board said no to you. What do you do next? Well, you'll find that in just about most governing documents that there is a provision that allows for a homeowner to ask for a special meeting of the association so that the association can vote on a specific matter. So if the board doesn't want to consider and see whether a majority of the homeowners want to do something or not, now you can do that. And how do you do it? Well, the board just told you they're not interested. They're not going to take the time. They're not going to ask for the special meeting. Well, your governing documents will provide a provision that'll say you can go and get a petition. And generally that petition is somewhere between 20-25% of the signatures of all of the owners living in the homeowner association who said, you know what, we agree that there should be a special meeting for us to discuss and decide on this issue, whatever that is that you brought up to the board. So if you go and do that duty and do door knocking and get the signatures of 20-25% of the homeowners, make sure you read your governing documents now so you know what the percentage is. When you have that requisite number of signatures, you go to the next board meeting and you just say to the board, you know what? We've got the signatures. I'd like to have that special meeting. And now the board of directors remember, everybody signed an agreement in this homeowner association to abide by those governing documents. The board of directors are bound by those same governing documents too. And that governing document said that if you get that 20-25% of the requisite signatures, the board must have that special meeting. So that special meeting will be had. Let's say the board, you have a couple people on the board that still say, we're not going to do it, even though you've gotten signatures. Then what? How do you get someone to do that? It's quite simple. Then you take the matter to small claims court. And for the cost of initiating small claims court, you can bring your governing documents, show the requisite number of signatures, and get a judge ruling. And then once the judge has ruled, then the board would allow that. But I've never seen that happen. Generally speaking, if someone's taken the time to get the 25% of the signatures needed, the board has that special meeting. And then during that time, that's when you actually discuss and vote on it. But guess what? You may be surprised that even though you've had that special meeting and you've taken all the gumption here to get that organized and move forward, you may find at the end of the day that you're in the minority. And if you're in the minority after that, you need to be an adult and let it alone. Don't sulk. Don't say it was an illegal election. Don't just start swearing and get mad. And that's what I see people do. They go to that spot. And it's just too bad that people just tend to just go into real ugly behavior. You don't need to do that. If you find yourself in the minority, all right, you're in the minority. You didn't win. You'll live to see another day. You know, maybe a couple years from now, there'll be some changes and you can bring it again for a vote and for the association to consider. But maybe it's that important to you of an issue that whatever it is, you decide, I really want to do that. That's important for my lifestyle that I want to enjoy. Well, if that's the case, then the other real peaceful act that you have and choice that you have in front of you is you can sell your home and leave the association. That's right. You can say, you know what? I don't think this association's for me. You know, when my wife and I bought into a townhome association about 12, 13 years ago, one of the things that was very important to us was whether or not pets were allowed. There are a couple of places that were really lovely. We really liked them, but we didn't buy. We didn't even make an offer. Why? We didn't have a pet, but we knew we wanted a dog. And so that was important to us. That was an important lifestyle decision that we wanted to make. So we made sure that we were in an association where that happened. I lived in an association, a condo, many, many years ago when I was single, and I had a dog, and dogs were allowed. And then all of a sudden, the governing documents and through some special meetings, it changed, and now pets were not allowed. And I ended up leaving the association because that was important to me. So you can do that. But, you know, you don't have to go to a place of calling names. You don't have to go to having sabotage, lying, writing libelous, ugly, slanderous things to people because you don't get your way. There is a proper procedure and protocol that it's already given in your governing documents, that all you need to do is to take a look at it, and it's there for you. Because the answer to who is above the board anyway, the answer is you, the homeowner. Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you here next Saturday on Where You Live.